I walk in and I ask her, you slept with my man? And she looked guilty. So I jump up on the table. So one of my cousin's boyfriends ends up pulling me off of her and was like, hey, I don't want you to go to jail. Like, just go ahead and go home. The first thing I thought was, what are you doing? Kick him in his nuts.
Let me just tell y'all to mentally prepare yourselves for the story we getting into today, because I opened this TikTok story time thinking this was gonna be like good, funny, drama, scandalous, salacious, and all this. I thought I was coming to have a good ha time, but ain't shit was funny. This story time was named How This Gal Found Out That Her Husband and Her mother, slept together. And as fucking insane as such a concept is, I'm here to tell y'all, that is so, that far. Like, it's far from the nuttiest, worst part of the story that girl ended up telling. And so let me just make this clear out the gate. We're not making fun of this young lady. We will not be making fun of this lady. I will not be kicking her back in, because fundamentally, this is a story about abuse. There's wildness and salaciousness and drama, and we will be kicking backs in. It won't be this young lady. I know we love to call women stupid and this and the next thing, I good for it in relationships and whatnot, but there has to be a clear understanding of when something is abuse. All the different kinds of abuse are present in the story that's going to be told, and by the time you hear it, you'll understand that this is a woman dealing with an abusive partner, a mother from hell, who dealing with financial insecurity, poverty, has multiple children, all kinds of different dynamics that put her in a position for a man like this to prey on her. And she already know, and she don't need me or anybody else to kick her back in, because she done experience and lived this, and she's already come past this and now telling us the story. So before we get into the mess, let's just know we're giving this lady grace. We're giving this lady grace, okay? This is how she said the story start. So her boyfriend, Dwight, not to be confused with Dwight or Wyatt. He named Dwight. Her boyfriend, Wyatt, her children, not his kids, her children and her mom live together in the house. So she say one night they all decide to, go out drinking or whatever. Her mommy and Wyatt get drunk. She ain't drunk, she tipsy. After the club, she decides to go by her cousin. So they all go by her cousin. She catching up with her cousin. And then her mommy and Wyatt ask her if she could take them home because they so tired and they so drunk. And she's like, okay, yeah, that makes sense. It's 3:34 a.m. in the morning. So she says, as she in the car driving them home, it's her and her cousin in the car driving them home, but she doesn't plan to go home. She plans to drop them off and then go back by her cousin. She say she see her mommy in the back seat kind of like whispering in his ear, but she ain't think nothing about it because that's her mom. Why would she ever be suspicious of her mother? And valid. Because hindsight is 20/20, but let me tell you something. Listen, there's no circumstance, there's nothing that could happen that could ever make me think my mother, my mom, could fuck my husband. I'd never think of such a thing. If I saw my mom was spreading my husband and I would assume she talking shit about me. But I would not think my mother up to no, sir. She says she sees this, but she don't think nothing of it or whatever. So she says she dropped him off and then she go back by her cousin. But she says soon as she with her cousin, she start getting repeated calls from her mommy being like, hey, where you at? When you coming home? Temperature checking when she coming home. And she's like, I'm with my cousin, you know that. What's the issue? And her mommy's like, oh, ain't no issue. I just want to hang out with you, blah, blah, blah. She's like, okay, cool. Keeps hanging out with her cousin. Then she start getting calls from her boyfriend, her then boyfriend. I think that's important. At this point in the story, he's just her boyfriend. But I'm telling you, this is the story about how she find out her mom sleep with her husband. So lock that in.
Oh. You're serious?
She said she started getting calls from her boyfriend, also wondering, oh, when you coming home, where you is? And she said after the boyfriend done asked her a couple times, that's when her cousins say, hey, I think you should go. You should go home. That's weird. And let's pause right here. There's nothing that could happen that could make me or anybody else in my family say to me, something ain't right. You should be suspicious. We ain't never think no shit like that. So the fact alone that the cousin said, hey, go home right now. Head home right now. That's weird. Tells me everything I need to know about the mother in this family and how niggas is capable of giving it up. Period. The girl goes and heads home, but she say, instead of immediately rushing into the house to go see what's up if anything is untoward, she say one of her favorite songs that she ended up making their wedding song was playing in the car. So she parked her car and waited in the car to finish the song out.
What?
And let me tell y'all, I shan't be kicking this young woman's back in this video, but I will say this. Girl, what? Like, let me tell you, if I think something suspicious, shoot, sometimes we gotta be suspicious. If I feel anxiety, period. If the anxiety could be totally irrational, unfounded, out of the blue, I fucking call an asshole. You finishing song? You take your mummy and your nigga, I can wear it in the crib, and we finishing song? Girl. And but anyhow, like I said, I ain't gonna kick her back in. She said she wish she didn't stay and finish that song and she did head into that house. Because she said when she head in the house, she see her mother coming out of her bedroom with her hair looking all crazy.
No. Wait.
So she said she asked her mommy, what you doing coming out of my room? And she said her mommy did look like dead, startled, and suspicious and whatever. So she heads into the room and she said her mommy was like, oh, nothing or whatever. I was just offering the Wyatt medicine. Because apparently they say every time he get drunk, her mommy is go offering him medicine, even though her mother was never offering her medicine. But at the time, she never clocked that as anything. But because she know her mommy does offer him medicine when he is get drunk and saying she didn't take none of it. So she said, oh, okay. She go into the bedroom and tending to grind her nigga. But right when she go get in the bed to go grind her mom, she see her mommy's shoes next to the bed. Like when you go sit down in the bed, you go sit down and you kick off your shoe to go get in your side of the bed. She see her mom's shoe. She see the shoes and she turned to him and she was like, hold on, what my mommy shoes doing now? And she said he looked at her like he didn't know what to say, shocked, startled. So she's like, why my mommy's shoes here? Mine still ain't on. So she said at that point, her next move was to go try smell his dick.
Cut the show. I'm done.
Let me just, before we even continue the story, because this shit about to get about to get fucking unhinged. From this moment forward, we was already in the ghetto. We was already in the ghetto from the beginning, but nigga, we in the fucking trenches. If I could even conceive of a world where my ma and my nigga could grind, like that is even something I could be suspicious of, that I get in my car to head home because something don't seem right. Then I get in the house and my mommy walking out of my bedroom with fucking sex here. And then I see my mom's shoes next to my bed. I asked this nigga what these motherfucking shoes doing here. And he quiet. And my first thought is to go smell his dick. Because I really thinking my ma and my nigga grinding. Let me tell you something. If I could get to that point, listen to me as could yuck my mommy windpipe out. At the amount of fucking hauling that was gonna be happening in this house, like I ain't even like. Let me tell you something. Before I even deal with no good for nothing nigga, let's leave him aside. If I take my ma, who's currently in my house, outside my bedroom disarmed in the living room somewhere, I see my mummy's shoe in my bedroom, and I ask my nigga something, be quiet. This immediately a house fucking meeting. Immediately, everybody come right now. You think my mom could be out there and I run over? Everybody can answer me now. Everybody dead. Everybody getting out the house. Listen. But anyway, I say all I say, but again, let me be clear that I'm specifically talking about me and my mother, because some of you niggas just don't be listening to me good, and y'all just come get mad. And that in the one video, I've been meaning to say this, in the other video I did where I was talking about the girl who wouldn't let her daddy cheat in peace, who football player daddy was cheating. In that video, that girl daddy ended up beating up her fiance, and I specifically say, if my daddy could beat up my husband CJ, that'd give me the ick. And the amount of you niggas, it really was only a couple of y'all, but I hope you watching this so you can hear what I have to say, since you wanted to have some rude ass comment. Leaving me a comment, some nigga that leave me a comment that was like, oh, I normally like your videos, but I can't believe you were goofy like this. That man was a football player. Her daddy was a football player. Of course he could be. Fucking listen with your ear. I say if my daddy could beat up my husband, CJ. My daddy is an architect who is my height. You hear me? My daddy is an architect who is my height. I say if my daddy could beat up my nigga, that'd give me the ick. I mean, you running, oh, daddy's an NFL player. Okay. And if your daddy's NFL player, sound like you need to get you a real big nigga that can't get beat up by your daddy. Y'all need to learn when we joking. I say all that to say, let's be clear. If my mother and my husband was in this scenario, I carrying on bad because it's a different set of circumstances. This bitch is in the trenches, okay? Because what comes next tells you exactly why she ain't free to move, how you would want to move off your most emotions, because this is a crazy, sick, nut-ass, fuck-ass nigga. Because she asked this man what her mommy shoes doing there. He don't answer her. So she tries to smell his dick. And you know what this man do? You know what this man do? This man starts fucking punching this woman. Literally wailing on this lady. And as this man punching her, wailing on her, abusing her, because she asked him a question. Because she asking him, what is her mother's shoes doing there next to the bed? His first reaction at her going to go smell his dick is to start fucking punching her. The case was closed there. We know what was up just off of that. But she says she starts screaming for help, because, you know, her mommy in this house. And eventually the police get called, he gets arrested. And the mother, imagine what kind of, this a wicked fucking woman we dealing with here. Like, I don't even understand how people like this walk in this earth. Like, I really, like, I can't even comprehend what it would be like. You don't need enemies if your ma is this, because not only is her mother in the house fucking with her nigga, but even though we don't have it confirmed yet, the jury is still out in her mind. The story, we far from finished the story. But not only is her mother in the house conducting herself in a way that would make her daughter suspicious that she's sleeping with her man, then said man starts to beat the fuck, full-grown man punching with his full strength, beating her daughter, and she begging the daughter not to press charges, not because she's an abolitionist. She's not an abolitionist. This is her on principle. She go, oh, he's a good man, Savannah. He's a good man, Savannah.
Shame.
The mummy not only convinced her, don't go pursue charges. The mummy convinced her, this is a good man she should be with and bring back the house. So 2 days later, they bring this boy back to the house under the fucking instruction of mummy. And the first thing, when the man come back to the house, think about this. You originally suspicious that your nigga and your mummy be like doing something weird in the house. You come in the house, it start looking fucking untoward. And as soon as you start questioning, rather than answer you or let you make another step to find any evidence, he start beating you. And then he gets arrested and your mother convinces you not to pursue the case and to bring him back home. And soon as he come home, the first thing he do is take your mom on a ride to the store. Oh, Jesus fucking Christ. And we ain't nowhere yet in the story, you know. So she say, then from there, he come home and, you know, she asked him, like, again about that night or whatever happened. And he was like, nothing happened. Your mother just kept coming in the room to ask me whether or not I needed medicine. First of all, it's clear that him and this ma already done and gone and confer stories. They go on and she asked him to take her to the store. They sit in the car, what you could tell her, oh, I tell her I was just offering you medicine. And now we come and telling you the story. But more importantly, is there any world in which if it was as simple as your mother asked him if he needed some medicine, he'd start fucking landing body blows on you? And that's important to note that she said that was the first time that he'd ever put his hands on her. So imagine, at this point, this man has never put his hands on you. You see him appearing to be in a compromised situation with your mommy. And because you asking questions or looking to find out, rather than let you look for evidence, he start punching you. And you think, but anyway, like I said, we ain't not here to call this young woman stupid or anything like this. This is an abusive relationship. We're not doing that. So, moving on. So she say she with him, and for the most part, you know, things was fairly back to normal. The only thing would be her mommy would still always be, every time she get drunk, she all lovey-dovey, she all over him. She'd always be over him and stuff in general, just like, oh my God, I love Dwight, all on him, just like on his dick all the time. To the point where she say her auntie and other people in the family be like, what the fuck is your problem? And she'd be like, oh, it's just a great son-in-law and all that. So she said 3 weeks later now, 3 weeks, just 3 weeks after the incident, him punching her, him assaulting her, she said he come suddenly hot up to get married. Like hot up to get married. And she said she had always wanted to be married. This had been a thing she'd been wanting for a long time. She wanted to get off the dating market. So she said yes to marrying him. No. She said she go home to go tell her mommy that she getting married to him, like, oh, excited. And she say from that, her mother was hot. She say nothing but rage in her eyes. And from that moment, her mommy round this house like a demon, being horrible to her. She said her mom was treated like a fucking dog. The only time her mommy being nice to is when her mommy was trying to muscle her into getting her off. And I'm just like, it's so crazy to me because some people really just need a smoking gun, and even the smoking gun ain't enough. But especially, it's important to note here that this ain't even like a normal relationship. This is an abusive relationship. So there's specific dynamics at play. We coming in at the part of the story where it doesn't get crazy, but this is a man who done groom, isolate, you know, intentionally chose a woman that he knows was in a place in her life where she was vulnerable. Because she said at this time, She said she didn't know her self-worth. She felt really low about herself. She said she was battling with all kind of things. Who she is now, as she telling this story to us, isn't who she was then. She said she also had been like really big and all these different things that had affected her self-esteem. So again, this is a man who picked a woman who already feels less than, has children she can't support, and you see what kind of mother she has, so you know what kind of environment she was raised in and things. So we have to take all that shit into consideration. So I say all that to say, I ain't talking about her when I say this, but like in general, there are some people who truly like, they need a confession. They can have all the evidence, all the smoking gun, but they quite literally need to present this person with the opportunity to lie to them. Like they have all the evidence, but they want you, they so badly don't want to believe it because they want to continue doing what they're doing regardless, that they want to present this person with the opportunity to like sell them a dream. Like maybe you could make all of this sense, all of the 2 + 2 = 4, make it mean something else. At this point, it ain't obvious that something going on with your mind and mine. But anyhow, she get engaged and they in the house with her mommy while her mommy carrying on by being horrible. She say eventually it's his birthday. And they was originally supposed to go out together, some whatever, some kind of plans. He ended up going out with all his people, getting drunk, doing this and the next thing or whatever. And she gets suspicious and all that. There's some name, right? So she said, oh, let me go out there. And her and him getting into an argument. She goes to the club looking for him to see what's up. She don't find him, but she find his boy girlfriend. She go up to his boy girlfriend like, hey, where's he? And da-da-da. And the girl immediately take it like, you trying to get me into problems, getting me into things I don't want to be into. The girl is like hostile and aggressive from the beginning. Like, that ain't, like, don't ask me nothing but that. I don't know what the fuck your nigga is, da-da-da-da-da. So immediately it's real hostile. But she say, later on that night, when she getting ready to leave the club, she see that same girl who was just stinking to her, crying and saying whatever. So she said because she was a girl's girl, she feel bad for the girl. So she was like, oh, what's up? And she was like, oh, my boyfriend left me. He left me all the hair. I can't get back home, XYZ. So she offered to give the girl a ride, even though the girl was stinking to her earlier that night. Now here's where shit go awry. So they in the car. The girl must be feeling like a little bit of a soft spot for now that she doesn't give her a ride. So she's like, let me try and give her like a 1 and a hint, even though she don't want to get in the middle of this. So she's like, you need to leave here, nigga. Like, he's horrible to you. Like, he's a horrible person. So she's like, what do you mean? Like, what do you mean by that? What do you mean? She was like, he cheated on you. And she was like, with somebody really close to you. And she was like, who is it? Like, and she was like, oh, I don't want to get in it, da da da. And she was like, oh, like, why are you protecting them? The girl didn't want to get in it. She's like, no, this ain't my stuff to be in the middle of, and XYZ, blah, 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 blah. Like, I don't want to upset, him and da, da, da. And the girl was like, so she said to the girl, why are you trying to like protect them? Why are you trying to protect them? And like, every time I see your boyfriend, he's with a million girls. So why are you trying to protect them and all this and the next thing? Like, tell me. So the girl says, he slept with somebody really, really close to you. And so she was like, who? My cousin? And she said she guessed her cousin, not because she ever thought her cousin would do something just like, but because that's who she thought of as the closest person to her in her age range. And the girl was like, no, closer. And she said, the minute she said that, she remembered that night. Because again, it was just 3 weeks ago. Like, or maybe it's more than 3 weeks ago now, but it was very recently. She said she remembered that night with her mother and that nigga in the bed, in the room. With her mother coming out the room and them shoes being in there. And she was like, her mom. And the girl was like, yes. Now, she said she immediately goes and gets mad at the girl. She starts cussing the girl out like you a piece of shit for not telling me, and like throws the girl out the car. Let me just express how absolutely dead wrong she is in this part of the story. She said her logic was, if you know something like this, like, oh, he sleep with my mother, something like that or whatever, like, you should have been told me. I shouldn't have to fight that information out of you. But the thing that I find interesting is like, you say to her, in the course of her trying to warn you and let you know that your nigga ain't no good and he's sleeping with this and he was sleeping with somebody close to you, that's when, in trying to get more information out of her, that's when you throw in her face, every time you see her nigga, he with a bunch of different gals. But this is the first you telling her. You ain't going to go deliver this information to her at any point in time. But yet it's like, you mad at the girl now because she ain't tell you that your nigga was sleeping with your mommy. But it's like, how's she getting that? And more importantly, it made all the sense in the world why she wouldn't tell you, because you're obviously the kind of gal that just stay regardless. Like, and that's my thing. I said this in the Danish deception story when she gone to go get mad at his family after, like, oh, they never told me he was a scammer. But his friends did. And you still didn't leave. So what's the point? This man, you suspected that he slept with your mommy, and then he started fucking beating on you rather than answer, and you still stayed with him. So if she is aware of the information, not only that your nigga sleep with your mommy, but she likely knows all the different drama that unfolded that night, or him punching you, him getting arrested, this and the next thing, and she know you still with him. So why the fuck would she go get herself in the middle of what is obviously a volatile situation for a gal who ain't her friend and a gal who ain't going nowhere?
I can't really explain it.
But anyhow, so she run hard and she throw the gal out of the car, get the fuck out my car. So she throw this gal out the car, drunk in the middle of the night, XYZ. So then she goes, she immediately goes, speeding our house to go confront her mommy. She busts to the house and she asked her mommy, what she do? Like, did she sleep with her nigga? She said her mommy looked immediately guilty, and that was enough for her to start fucking her mother up. And rightfully so. She jumped on the table. She said she was fucking mink.
I walk in and I ask her, you slept with my man? And she looked guilty. So I jump up on the table and she's yelling at me, telling me I'm crazy. And I jump up on the table and I go and I just start binking her. Needless to say, I ain't gonna go more into details, but I just start binking her. And she proceeds, my cousin, actually, one of my cousins, she ends up trying to call the police on me, and my friend that I was with told her not to do that. I'm not going to incriminate anyone. She tells her not to do that, and I'm proceeding to bing my mom. And one of my cousin's boyfriends ends up pulling me off of her and was like, hey, I don't want you to go to jail. Like, just go ahead and go home. You're drunk. Like, just figure this out tomorrow.
And that woman deserved that. But what happened in the course of this, right, is as she beating up her mom, the cousin there and the cousin boyfriend there, and they trying to pull her off and they telling her, hey, don't get yourself arrested tonight, go home, deal with this tomorrow. But as she trying to leave, as she trying to beat on her mother and trying to leave this already hectic nigga moment that's happening here, she didn't realize that when she threw the girl at the car, the girl phone was left in the car. So the girl's boyfriend tracked the phone there to go find the phone for the gal. So when the boyfriend and the gal pull up to go try and get the phone XYZ, at which point the gal mad as hell because she try to help you. You toss her the fucking car, so you gotta run her to Fed. So she said they start fighting. Oh no, what happened is she said she was talking to the boyfriend. Hi God, I'm loving before I even said they start fighting. What I love about it is she say she was talking to her. She come out from all the adrenaline. She had been beating her mommy ass now, and she meet this nigga in the car, trying to get in the car and take the phone, and then she was trying to like explain to him the situation, and now she trying to tell him the story. She say all she felt was me, and she was on the ground. Cause that gal come, you got to run me this Fed, girl. You toss me with the fucking kind of dead night, cause I tell you something, you beg me to tell you that don't have nothing to do with me. Bitch, what?
Bink, I feel somebody punch me in my face and I fall to the ground. The girl we end up fighting. It's his girlfriend who hit me. We end up fighting and I end up whooping her. It was a really fast fight, but yeah. And so immediately I'm like, I don't have time for this. Like, you just told me this and you think I want to fight you?
So she said they fight. She said they fight 3 rounds in the street, and she said she beat that gal ass every time. And I love it for her. While all this is happening that night, the nigga himself in jail. He was in jail doing. Y'all can see this man. He is being in and out of facilities. We will discuss this. So he was in jail at night. She said when he come out of jail, she confronted him about it, like, oh, like what happened with my mommy. And that's what I'm saying about people who like just want to provide people the opportunities to tell them something different than what the fuck they already know and their common sense could tell them. Like, they want to be lied to. Like, that's what it is. One thing about me, all I need is evidence. I don't need nobody's confession. I can make the case and I can come to the conclusion and we don't have nothing to discuss. Because I don't need you to be out here trying to tell me that the fucking sky is blue and the grass ain't green. If I see what it is, pop, 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 that's what it is. We making a decision. So either you leaving the nigga or you not. To me, once you already know, you have enough evidence to know a man done do fucking crazy by you, and you ain't immediately leave, you gotta go talk to him. To me, I already know you staying. She goes to go talk to him after he come out of jail, and he tells her, oh, her mommy, he didn't have sex with her mommy essayed him. Let's be clear. A woman can't essay a man. Was that nigga essayed by her mother? No, he was not. That's what he tell her. And so then they go trying to confront the mommy, and he like, oh, go to the mommy house, like banging on the door, talking about, oh, tell her what you did to me, blah, blah, blah. But the mommy was just like, you fucking dirty motherfucker. And just slammed the door and called the police on them. But that's how the mommy was like, Ain't this about a bitch? And that's all she say, and she ain't give her daughter a story. And she say also the rest of her family was gaslighting her, talking her crazy, treating her like shit, not telling XYZ. So in her mind, the only personal story she had to go off of is this man. And he telling her that his mommy had say her. So she goes with what he say. And from there, she's like, okay, her mommy is the problem. It's her mom who she need to cut out her life. They move out of the place with her mom, and they get married, and they living on their own. And she say for like in the first year, it was like good. She said she didn't realize at the time that he was trying to make up for his guilt for what he do to her. But she said he was treating her dad good. He was spoiling her. This is to the next thing. But the problems come into play again. He started treating her like shit, and she also started getting into Christianity. My girl started finding Jesus, finding God, starting to feel better about herself and all that stuff. So then she goes to like this big church event, and she say as she's at this event, this woman who was standing next to her all night at different points of the night and was speaking in tongues and stuff eventually says to her like, hey, like, you're Danielle? And she's like, yeah. And she was like, oh, you know, I've had a message from God all day to tell somebody named Danielle that something's about to happen in your life, and it might feel like everything is falling apart, but it's actually coming together for the best. It's gonna work out.
So I turned to her and I'm like, hey, are you saying my name? And she was like, are you Danielle? And I was like, yes. And she was like, I've been looking for you all day. And I was like, what? And she was like, God told me to tell you that everything is about to seem like it's falling apart, but trust God and it's all falling into place. Keep going. So she says that, and we end up just saying a prayer together.
You could see my girl was like choked up. Like she really like, you know, I'm not a religious gal, but I do respect that religion and things can be positive and monumental in other people's life. And you could feel like the difference like this is made for her. And so we love this for her. So she says from that woman tells her this message. She says she heard God say to her, like, give her permission to leave her husband. Because at that point she's feeling like, you know, marriage is forever. She has to be with him. She would never leave a marriage, XYZ. After that woman told her that, she heard God give her permission to leave her husband. And so she called him and she said, hey, she was like, God has told me, like, we're not going to be married forever. Like, that, like, I want to end this marriage. This isn't good, whatever. She said, once she said that, the man started turning up on her, accusing her, cheating, treating her bad, doing all this and the next thing. And she said, next thing you know, he go talk to his pastor, and he telling the pastor how she is abusing him. She is treating him bad, all these lies, just spinning the things. So the pastor tell him to leave her. Mind you, she said he's the sole provider for her and her children. So she said when he leave her like that, she said she immediately like panics because again, it's financial. These are the different things that take place in like abuse and like why people can't leave. Not only is it important to remember, like we could easily be like, oh my God, why is she leaving? She could leave in all these different stories. But it's not as though if she tried to leave, that just ends it there. Like that's all she needs to do and that's the end of this abuse still. Most people, the most dangerous time in an abusive relationship is when they leave. That's when most of the murders happen. As you should know at this point in the story from the fact that this man his first choice was to stop punching her just for asking him questions. We should know that this ain't a nigga she could just leave without fucking consequence and retaliation and violence in the next thing. And then on top of that, you add like financial insecurity, poverty, all these different things. This gal have children. She don't have a job and he taking care of them. So him to leave her puts her and her children in a horrible position because she can't take care of them. So she says once he leaves, she starts like begging him like, please, please, please come home. Like, let's separate the right way. Like, give me a chance to like get a job and then we do this so we can take care of XYZ. And she said, he was like, no, fuck that. Fuck you. He gone. Then the next thing you know, the dynamics this man so crazy and is doing so much craziness. I don't even know how we end there per se, but just know he end up in the fucking mental asylum.
Nigga, what?
Just the next thing you know, he tells such and such, oh, I gonna kill myself, I gonna do this, I gonna do that, fucking straitjacket. They done fucking send him to the boys, okay? She said he's in the mental facility for, I want to say, like 3 weeks, 6 weeks, I don't know, some period of time. She said all the time he there, he ain't like checking for, he done like a wife finished with his marriage. When he came out, she said he didn't get in contact with her first. She's searching for him, she's trying to find him, because again, this is the financial breadwinner, the provider in the home. She's trying to find him and she can't get in contact with him, she don't know how, so she said she goes to his mommy to try to figure out where he is, but she said the mommy don't like her because she's black. And it was at that fucking moment when we learned that the nigga in this story is not a nigga. This is a white man. This is a white man. The Wyatt is a white man.
Oh my God.
This is a white man. Nigga, I was like, I read about what she say. What she mean? Because you...
Consciousness.
Genesis.
This is a white man. Put him on the screen. Oh my God. So she said her mommy is like, or whatever, like, I don't know where he is, treating us stink, yada, yada, yada. The mother's a racist bitch, okay? She said eventually after like 2 days, she sees him looking at her Instagram story from a different account and she blocks it. And once she blocks his burner Instagram, that's when he gets in touch with her. And in the course of her getting back in touch with him and like somehow getting into his Instagram and stuff, he tells her that he had already gotten him a new girlfriend while he was in the let me tell you, this right here is why I always say, don't never tell no man. Like, I remember in my youth, gals want to say to niggas like, oh, you ain't gonna never find nobody who love you like me, da 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 da. This man this man is in a mental facility. He is literally on a fucking involuntary hold in the mental facility, and he's still getting pussy. There's still bitches willing to immediately house and shelter this bum ass nigga the minute he fucking get out. I'm telling you, there's always, it don't matter what a man is, what he look like, how warbly he is, it does not matter. There are always women willing to get involved with them. So, child, this man get out the mental facility and then immediately move into another bitch house. She say she stay all sending nudes, all this different stuff she seeing in Instagram. She said, but at that point she didn't care. She just like he need this man to try like take care of his family. There's a bunch of different moving parts and stuff, but eventually she lets him come back into the house, not as a relationship, not as them getting back together, but for him to have somewhere to live and for him to help with the stuff and stuff while they figure out how to do separation the right way. She said it was all right for a little bit. He was acting like, oh, he was going to respect her and her boundaries and this and the next thing. But by the time Christmas comes around and she wants him to leave just for Christmas because she don't want to like ruin Christmas for her children and she didn't want to sleep with him. Or next thing you know, this man talking about, oh, all people do is use me, blah, blah, blah. She's like, I know true. That's not true at all. And he's like, oh, everybody has used me. She's like, I know plenty of people who care about you. And she said, as she started trying to like talk to him about that, he literally rewriting history in front of her about like, oh, how everybody in his life because of her and all these different things. He planned to go fucking run tell the minute if she leave him, because that's the way they try to be maintaining control. All these threats, all this like abuse, all these narratives and stuff is a way to try to keep her with him. But she was like, I don't care what story you come up with to justify what you've done to me and how you've treated me and me leaving. That's not my problem. Like, I'm still leaving. I'm still going. She said at what point this man goes and starts choking her, literally trying to kill her. She said she was about to pass the fuck out when it finally occurred to her to like kick this nigga in the balls. And it's the only way she was able to like literally not dead. And she said at that point she grabbed a shoe or something and she started beating on this nigga to get out of the house.
I'm getting scared and I'm just trying to fight for my life. And he starts to drag me through the living room by the shirt with the shirt wrapped around. And he puts on one of his boots and starts to try to stomp me out in my face. But I'm moving so much that he's missing my face. So I felt myself losing conscience. So the first thing I thought was, what are you doing? Kick him in his nuts. So I kicked him in his nuts as hard as I could, and he flew back. And he was on the ground, holding on his balls, saying, oh. And I got up and I grabbed his other boot and I just started to hit him. And I'm telling him, get the F out, get the F out. But I can barely even say these words because I can hardly breathe because I was literally about to lose consciousness. So he ends up getting up, and when he gets up, he snatches his other boot from me and he puts on his jacket. He doesn't have a shirt on. He just puts on his jacket and he's like getting ready to leave. And I pick up his belt and which it had like a big Western like buckle on it. And I start to hit him with it and I'm telling him, get the F out, get the F out.
And she did end up calling the police and he got arrested. And because this girl actually is an efficient spin round storyteller, when you next look, her mother gets in contact with her. Because at all this point now, from they've been married to now, her mother and her been estranged because in her mind, her mother say her nigga. But she says she had always continuously been asking him about it, like asking the details, like going over that night. And he'd just be getting mad at her, like, oh, you ain't gonna never let this go. Your mommy asking me, stick to that. She said, and eventually the mother called her. The mommy called her, like, now the mommy done find God. She trying to change. She trying to, like, make atonement. She trying to forgive. So now she trying to apologize to her daughter for being a horrible mother. Because also, at some point in time in the story, the mother did also start doing drugs. So you need to understand that woman is a fucking whole toxic tornado. So by the time the mother starts trying to, like, get her shit together, she calls her and she tells her exactly, like, okay, we did have sex. Like, we did have sex. It wasn't no essay or whatever. She tell the whole story. And at which point, when old boy get out of jail again, and he calls her, she's like, you need to tell me what you did. Like, tell me what you did to me. Like, tell me what you did. Really dig deep. She fucking said it to this nigga. And he started admitting to cheating with 50, 11 bitches she didn't know about. And she was like, Jesus Christ, I ain't even know. Like, damn, like how much fucking cheating was you doing? But no, that's not what I'm talking about. Dig deeper. And eventually he was like, what? Your mother? This again? Like, at which point he tell her the story and confirms, yes, this nigga did in fact fuck her mother, which he should have been know, which she should have been you. Like, you didn't need these confessions. But I will. My girl did supply us. She recorded both the mommy and the husband different stories, admitting to it, so we put in the mail because you all need to hear that.
Okay. So you left, we were talking, we were on the bed. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I don't remember everything. I'm anointed. God, he has so much faith in me, and he trusts me to be the person that he's helped me to be, that I don't lie. I don't remember everything. I remember we were talking. I remember that, and I don't remember how it got to that. I can't swear either. I do that sometimes. I remember him pulling his pants down, and I remember him sitting back, and I remember him having it out. Don't remember everything that was said. I'm not gonna lie, because I don't want to make up anything. I thought about this, and thought about this, and thought about this. I remember that. Then all of a sudden I remember that, yes, we did have sex. I was getting up, and then he pushed me down, and from the back, and then I told him to stop, because what were we doing? It was, I don't know if it was exactly like that. And then I remember crying. I remember telling him that should have never happened. And then I got up. Well, I'm thinking, yeah, I got up. I was walking to my room and I laid down. And the next day, the reason that I wanted him to take me was because I wanted to ask him if he remembered everything that happened. He said he did not. He just said, and I said, I want to apologize. I want to apologize because I don't know what happened, why it happened.
She didn't need these in my mind to get to this point, but once that happened, she's like, I'm absolutely finished with, because I would have never married you. It's disgusting to me to think that I've been married to a man and sleeping with a man who had fucked my mother, who'd been inside my mother. So from there, at this point, now this wicked nigga, he out here, he fighting the case. And then what else happened too? Because let me just tell you how fucking seriously fucked up the system is, because that's exactly how it is. She's trying to divorce this man. She's trying to get back up on her feet. She's trying to get a job. She's trying to, she's strengthening her relationship with God. She said she started working out and really started pouring back into herself. And that's why, and now it's all these things that brought about, wanting to leave this man. But because she tried to leave this man and he wanted to choke her to death, he trying to kill her, and she called the police for help, what happens is CPS opens up a case on her kids because this man abused her in the house with her kids. And then he running the CPS and the police and telling them, oh, she's a drunk. She abuses her kids. She's a horrible mother. She abused me, the whole relationship, trying to tell all these different stories on how to try to take her kids and do all these wicked things stuff. Because again, that's how these abusive relationships function. He needs to try to exert as much control over her life to try to make her stay. Like, oh, you try to leave me? These are consequences. I can take your child. I can take you this. I can take that. But lucky for her, bless God, she say as of like January, that man is in prison. That man is in prison and her CPS case is closed. And that's why she felt like, strong enough and free enough to come tell us story and to bless us with the photos, the real name. Like, this man actually named Wyatt. And this is a wicked, wicked, wicked white man. Child, that concludes this fucking crazy story. If you enjoyed the video you just watched, it's your lucky day because you just found it on one of 7 channels inside my Olurinati-verse. Subscribe to Olurinati, my flagship channel, where you'll find my magnum opuses like If Pretty is a Privilege, Ugly is a Curse, How This Didn't Age Well Destroyed Media Literacy, How Men Become Aziz Ansari, and more. Subscribe to Olurinati Pop for my TV and film essays on shows like How I Met Your Mother, Sex and the City, Desperate Housewives, You, Euphoria, Insecure, and so many more. You can also join Olurinati Pop on Patreon to watch all of my YouTube videos uncensored. Subscribe to Olurinati Bites for short, serious, and nuanced commentary on whatever the internet is spiraling about. Subscribe to Olay and Chill if you're trying to laugh and chill while unpacking the latest TikTok chaos. Subscribe to Olurinati Politics for sharp breakdowns of the political moments shaping our lives right now. Subscribe to Olurinati Extras for music commentary and industry deep dives. Subscribe to Olay and Friends to watch your favorite Black thinkers and creators dissect the culture. Subscribe to any or all the channels in the Olurinati-verse that speak to you, and I'll see you there. And you can also follow me on Instagram, TikTok, Threads, and Blue Sky at Olurinati. And you can also follow Olurinati Pop and Olay and Chill on Instagram and TikTok so you never miss a thing.